This is the how-to video for the government interview reaction. Video task. It's going to be due on May 5th. I'll actually be out in red that week, but that way I can get it entered. If you have it done, please leave it with Mr. Fisher. He will be here. He'll have a folder for it, so you can leave it there. Here are the guidelines. I'm going to walk you through how to do it. I'll kind of take my time. You certainly can stop this video and do parts and then come back to it. So you might want to do that after you find out what the interview phase is. Might be a good time to stop the video. You're going to interview 6 people. That sounds a lot worse than it is. Of the 6 people, 4 have to be of voting age. 1 interview can be yourself and 1 can be a peer. So there's really only 4 outside interviews. And in fact, I have a link here to 2 interviews that you can use. And that means really you only need to find 2 people of voting age that you could interview outside of really class. It could be a parent, it could be a brother or sister that's older, could be just anybody that you run into, it could be a teacher you want to talk to about these things. And I'm giving you the interview questions. While you do the interview, you need to take notes. That's one of the things you're going to turn in is notes from the 6th interview. They are part of the grade, and so you want to make sure that you turn those in. And so here's what you're going to ask them. First question you're going to say to them, in terms of the present, today, what's something that they think the government does well and something they think the government does poorly? And then you're going to take notes. What do they think they do well? What do they think they do poorly? So you're just going to write down what they say. Number 2, in terms of the future, describe something you would like to see the government do and something they should not do. As you look forward, or as the person looks forward, in the future, what's something the government might want to get involved in, you'd like to see them do, and something they should not do, or maybe something they're doing now they should stop doing. Third question, in terms of taxes and spending, what's one thing the government does, one government function that you most and least appreciate? What is one thing the government does with their tax money that they like, and one thing that they don't? You could ask them to explain a little bit why. Number 4, does the government really affect your life? Explain. So you're just going to ask them, does the government really have an impact on your life? If they do, why? If not, why not? And then there's a 5th question here. Why do some citizens choose to vote and others choose not to? They don't have to tell you whether they vote or not. They may not see as your business or my business, but just ask them to consider what are some reasons why people do vote and some reasons why they don't, to kind of explain what they think of that. Okay, this is 60 points of the assignment. That's more than half the points is you do these interviews and take notes. So if you just do the interviews, you take the notes, and you turn that in, you would pass the assignment. If you want to get more points, you have to work on the next section. So what else have you got here? A web page with 2 interviews. If you click this, they don't have answers to the 5th question on this interviews, because I added that one this year, so you just will have to put not available. But there's 2 of the interviews. If you interview yourself and 1 classmate is 4, you only have 2 left to do. If you're content to do the interviews and get to 60 points, you want to do a nice job on that, go ahead, make sure it's all complete and turn it in, and then you would get the 60 points. If you're thinking, no, I want to do better than a D-, I want to get some more points, you're going to have to work through the reaction steps. Here's what they involve. Number 1, you've already done detailed notes from each of the 6 interviews. For part 2, it says, to list and describe a plus, a minus, and an interesting aspect of the material. Please listen carefully. I do not want one of these for each interview. Look at your interview notes from the 6 people. Find one thing from those 6 interviews collectively you think is kind of a plus. Tell me what it is, explain why it's a good thing. Find one you think is a minus. Hey, this is kind of a bad thing. Tell me what it is, explain why, and something that was just interesting. How, interview 3, how they brought this up, this was kind of interesting, here's why. So that should be a total of 6 sentences where you've got a plus, minus, interesting, probably from 3 different interviews, 1 from each. Part 3, list and define 2 unknown or good words from the interviews. You're just going to look at words that they use, vocabularies, and maybe you say, well, I knew what they all meant, but this is a good word. That's fine. I want to know the following for that word. I want to know its definition. I want to know the context of how it was used. And then I want you to tell me why they used it. Why did they pick that word with that in that context? So you're going to do that twice, 2 words. Part 4, describe a link to 2 déjà vu terms. And so you got the list of déjà vu terms. I got the list over here that hangs in the classroom. You're going to pick 2 of those that kind of connect to the interview. You're going to tell me about what the déjà vu term means, its definition. You're going to tell me about the context. What were they talking about when they brought it up? And then you're going to tell me how they connect. How does the déjà vu term go with that context? Remember, there's the déjà vu spiral link that has definitions for all the déjà vu terms if you're struggling on exactly what one means. Part 5 is a pretty easy one. List and describe a taste, smell, and sound that go with your topic. A little bit of imagination here. Look through the interviews and think of a taste that might go with one of the interviews. A smell and a sound for each one. Tell me what the taste is, how it goes with it. The smell and the sound, make sure you make it clear how they connect. What's the link between what they talked about and that taste, smell, and sound? Part 6, pretty easy one. Draw a related picture with a caption. So you're just going to draw a picture that goes with one of the interviews, just some kind of a stick picture is fine, with a caption. So just, hey, this is something that was talked about. I'm going to skip part 7 for a second. Well, actually, I won't skip part 7. Here's part 7. Write a reaction paragraph. See description below. This is the tough part of the assignment. You have to actually write this paragraph. It says, reaction paragraph, 7+ sentences. Okay, explain what you consider to be key ideas or understandings that relate to the interview. What are the main things that you got out of this? Okay, and so you're expected to use complete sentences. You should have an explanation of your statements where necessary. You should have your own observations about why this would be important, maybe how it connects to other things, and any other information that maybe you know that you could connect to the topic. This is a chance for you to think about the material and express your own thoughts in writing. And so this should be unique. You are welcome to do the interviews with somebody else, but the creation part you should do on your own. And so your reaction paragraph should be quite unique. It's your thinking. Part 8, is this topic worth exploring next year? Yes or no, with a brief why or why not. You're just going to tell me, hey, yeah, this is worth doing again next year. Here's why, or no, this is not worth doing again next year. Here is why not. That is the assignment. It does ask you to please go back and watch this video again to self-score it. And all you're going to do there is just, at the top of your paper, I want to know, what do you think your score is going to be? If all you did is the interviews, 60. If you did the interviews and some of this, 70. If you really tried all these, at least gave them a good attempt, 80. If you think, hey, you did a nice job, 90. If you think, no, this is really good, 100. You give a thought to your score before you turn it in. I'll just expect to see some score at the top, so I know you did that. If you have questions throughout the process, please let me know. Again, this is due May 5th. If you want to turn it in while I'm at Dr. Ed, just please leave it with the substitute, and I can have it graded and ready to get back to you when I get back to class in May.